In my mind, I've never crossed the line with anyone. But I didn't realize the extent to which the line has been redrawn.
Governor Andrew Cuomo announcing his resignation this week following a 165-page report by the New York State Attorney General alleging the disgraced governor sexually harassed 11 women in the workplace. The report suggested that being a woman in the governor's office was to, quote, live the dichotomy between fear and flirtation. The report and his resignation has prompted a renewed conversation about workplace harassment and abuse. Joining us with more on this important topic is Maggie Arthur from the nonprofit Our Resilience, which works with sexual assault survivors. Maggie, good morning to you. Nice to have you on.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
I don't know if you got to hear what he just said during his resignation speech. I know that you have heard it since, but curious what your comment or what your reaction is to what he had to say about how and why this happened.
Yeah. So we get asked a lot about why is there this sudden uptick in people reporting or this outcry of sexual harassment that we haven't seen in the past. And I am always really careful to sort of push that a little bit, just to say that this isn't a reflection of suddenly more sexual harassment is happening, or rather that victims are becoming more sensitive, but rather this is a reflection of more people are being believed. Survivors' biggest fear of coming forward with their story is that they're not going to be believed. And as they see more and more stories coming public, there is strength in those numbers, right? Suddenly they are thinking to themselves, okay, maybe I'm not so easy to dismiss anymore. Maybe my story is important too. And that's helping them to feel empowered to come forward to make those reports or to speak publicly about what's happened to them.
You know, often when we see stories like this, cases like this, we hear people who come forward after hearing others have come forward, as you said, and saying, oh, that happened to me 20 years ago. And then the first thing a lot of people will say is, well, why did you wait so long?
Yeah. So I see this in sort of two ways. There are the sort of structural reasons why people wait to report, and then the personal reasons. So structurally, a lot of survivors who we talk to who've experienced workplace harassment especially say that there are not clear channels to report in their workplace, or the channels to report are directly related to the person who's harassing them, right? The instruction is tell your manager that this is happening, and your manager is the one who's causing the harm. So it feels really unsafe, and they're really unsure of how to proceed. And then in terms of personal reasons, we can't ignore that people with marginalized identities are experiencing harassment at higher rates and also are reporting less. And when they do report, they're seeing justice or accountability less and less. And so for a lot of survivors, there's this feeling, especially if you're an outlier in your field, like for instance, you're the only woman working in a corporate office, you don't want to draw more attention to yourself. You don't want to risk being labeled as this problematic person. And you don't want to risk folks treating you differently or maybe retaliating against you. Something important that I think about a lot too is that in 2019, the highest report to the EEOC was retaliation.
So what do you do about this
then?
then?
Struggling to report.
Yeah, so what do we do about that?
Retaliated against.
What do we do about that? Because we're running out of time, and I want to get this is really important. What if there's women at home who are watching who feel that they are being marginalized, sexually harassed? Maybe they're young women who worry if they say anything, their careers are over. What advice do you have for them?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the biggest thing I would say to them is that I believe you, and it's not your fault. It's not your fault that this is happening to you. This is not a reflection on yourself or your work. And you don't have to put up with it. For so long, we have been taught that harassment is sort of a necessary evil of the workforce, and that we just have to sort of brush it off and keep our heads down and keep moving. And as more and more people come forward, as more accountability is sought, we don't have to put our heads down anymore. We don't have to keep going. We can stop and we can call this out. And if you're a friend who's seeing that happen, or just a coworker, don't let it stay silent. Call it out, call attention to it, because that's how this behavior is perpetuated. It's just silence.
Okay, and if people would like more information to learn about our resilience, maybe to get some help and advice from you, what do they need to do?
So the best way to get a hold of us is to go to our website, www.ourresilience.org. That way you can find not only our information, but also other local resources like the Chicago Rape Crisis Hotline, and so on and so forth. And also too, if you are in a position of leadership in an organization or business and you want to learn more about how to help your staff, reach out to us.
Very nice. Maggie Arthur from the nonprofit Our Resilience. Thanks so much for joining me this morning. Have a great day, Maggie.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.